I'm here right now in Fort San Pedro, Cebu City. This is one of our Spanish time legacy here in Cebu, and it is full of our history of what our country story was. So you can see that there's even an entrance that says it was built in 1565. Originally, this is built in 1565 by the governor Miguel López de Legazpi, and the original materials used on the port are just made of wood. It was only in 17th century that the fort was built into the stone fort that you are looking now. During the war, the fort was used by the Americans as the headquarters for its Visayan and Mindanao forces. So you can hear the mass on the back because this week is the start of the novena for the Fiesta of Cebu, Pete Señor. So this is the entrance of the port. And it's very windy right now. There's a typhoon in Samar, so we were affected here. So I'm gonna go in. Let me tell you that this is not the first time that the fort was used for religious activities. So, to tell you more the story of our Fort San Pedro. So this is how it looks like in the past. That's the original structure. So you can find all this story and photos of old Cebu City, significant photos. Some are just fancy photos, but these are some of the history that you can find here in a room called the Bien Vende del Teniente inside Fort San Pedro. Now to continue on, so there are 14 cannons that's been put here during the Spanish time. So you can see here they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is what you can see from here. That's the Plaza Indepedencia, and it is near the Cebu Fort San Pedro. So the story of this one here, that before in the 1950s to the 1960s, there used to be a zoo around here in the fort, and the 1953 President Osmeña wanted to demolish this fort, but the Cebuanos revolted against it. That's why it is now restored as a tourist destination. It's so windy because, like I said to you, there is a typhoon in Samar and we are affected here. So I think you can see there, and if you're looking up from here, from the port, and the view from there, without those modern buildings, you can see the wide space that it used to be from the governor looking down here on the plaza. So at least we have the mayor before, Michael Rama, has started all these preservations of our historical monuments, historical places here in Cebu. This is the Bastion de la Concepcion. So there are 3 bastions here in the corner, because this is a triangular fort, like a triangular bastion fort, serve as the nucleus of the first Spanish settlement here. There's another cannon that's preserved, although you can see that the roofs are already modernized, but you can still feel the ambience of the old Spanish regime. That is now our Cebu Central Post Office out there, where you're gonna get your mail if it's not delivered by your local post office. And imagine us walking here during the Spanish time. The people must have been so amazed with their building of this fort. So during the liberation of Cebu, this fort became an hospital. So this fort is near the first pier or port here in Cebu. So we have 5 pier. Pier 1 is over here near the Fort San Pedro. So there's more cannons here. So there's about 14 cannons in the whole place. So that's the other bastion there on the corner, facing the sea. But now I think it's blocked by that building. But this is the bastion. This round thing here is the bastion that facing the sea. This is the Ignacio de Loyola, and you can see the boat from here. And imagine that without that building. So it is indeed facing the sea. You can actually see the bit of the ocean here, the sea there. So the walls itself is 20 feet high from the ground, and there is a nice courtyard in the middle. But there's so much history here of from the Spanish times to the American regime. But now it's a lot of people here. This is one of the center of trade, because this is the location of the pier. You can see it there. old trees that's just been trimmed down. So Cebu Zoo in the 1950 to 1960s was actually located near here, but now we don't have a Cebu Zoo. It was relocated in near Beverly Hills, there in Peace Valley area, but now it's all gone. So you can see from here on top of the port, you can see the water in the ocean, and that's where the trading of the Smith Bell, getting all the abaca hemp here, they're working in there on the port. And this is the two front but the bastion, because it's a triangular fort. This is the bastion San Miguel, and this is our port San Pedro. So you can overlooking Plaza Indepedencia. I am on the top of the port. There's another place there to go up. So you can see the glory of this building structure on its days. So 1738, when it started to become a stone like this. So you can see you're not allowed to go up there. It's locked. At least they maintain the gardens. There's a few people working here, although there's not a lot of tourists coming, but it's still clean normally.